Carson, and I am back with some more mommy tips and some more mommy talk. Today, we are going to be talking about mastitis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Mastitis, I don't know. But however you pronounce it, that's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? We're going to be talking about what it is, causes, symptoms, how to prevent it, the whole nine, and my personal story of having it. So this is going to be a great video, so make sure you stick around, okay? But before we get started, don't forget to click that subscribe button that's going to be to the right of your screen, and don't forget to hit your notification bell so you also get all your updates about every time I post, okay? Thanks so much, ladies, for watching. Let's get started. What is mastitis? Well, mastitis is a very painful infection in the breast. It is usually caused by blocked milk ducts or bacteria entering into the breast. Symptoms: we've got breast pain, you've got swelling, you've got warmthness of the skin, and then you could get a fever and you could have chills. Treatments. Okay, first you have self-care. So they say with self-care, you're supposed to avoid tight clothes, you're supposed to really make sure that you're keeping your hygiene right, and breastfeed and warm compresses. Now, from my opinion, breastfeeding is going to be your best bet because it's going to help drain the milk. Going to keep the milk off of it. The other things, those are kind of going to help relieve pain. As far as not wearing tight clothes, warm compresses, those things are going to kind of help relieve pain, but it's not going to drain the milk. So make sure that you're breastfeeding or pumping. Medications that your doctors may give you, they might give you antibiotics. That's what I was on. They gave me antibiotics. You also have penicillin, and you also have anti-inflammatory medications. But just talk with your doctors about it, and they'll see what you need and how extreme your case is, and they'll decide what they want to give you, okay? And in worst case scenarios, they do have medical procedures. You could have it where they drain the milk ducts, and then you can also have it where they do an incision to get the milk out as well. So those are your options. You have self-care, meds, or you can have a medical procedure. Now, everywhere I usually read, they say it usually happens within the first 3 months of you delivering your baby. But that was not my case. I actually got mastitis when my son was about to be 9 months, and I was about to stop breastfeeding. So even though it is more prevalent within the first 3 months, it is not that after the baby's 3 months, you're in the clear. You can still get it if you're not careful. So let's talk about my story about mastitis. This was a totally new experience for me. Never ever have I dealt with anything like this. I only have 2 kids, but even with my first one, never ever went through anything like this. So it was scary at first. I really was worried because I didn't know what was going on. Okay, so let's talk about my stuff. So what happened to me was one day I was dilly-dallying around the house, doing stuff as a stay-at-home mom, and I got this really sharp pain in my left breast, and I didn't know what it was. It was like sharp and extremely painful. So painful where I almost fell down. Painful. Stopped me like right in my tracks. And I called my mom and I was like, okay, what's the deal? Like, is this not? But what I originally thought was happening, I thought I was starting my period, and I thought I was just having sore breasts, but it grew like so intense. Like it was like boom, so intense. So I knew something was wrong. So at first I was like, okay, I'll just take some medicine, it should be fine. So I went over to my mom's house to my husband and I were going out of town that weekend and taking her all the kids stuff. And I went over there and I was trying to explain to her all the feeding schedule and everything for the baby boy. And I literally like got lightheaded and weak and almost passed out. The pain was so intense. So I went and sat down on the couch. My mom brought me some water. I just felt like I couldn't move. It was just out of this world, painful. And I actually can't pull my boob out. But this portion of my breast was like swollen and red. So I immediately called my husband. I went to the emergency room that night. The emergency room was crowded and they couldn't get me in, so I had to wait till the next morning. But I called and they told me to of course take warm showers and put warm compresses on it, and to try to hold it out and wait until the morning. So I get back home, take my warm shower, put my warm compresses on it, and I just keep trying to massage. And at this time, I was trying to stop pumping. I was trying to wean my son off. So I decided that night, okay, well, let me try to pump. Maybe some milk is backed up. Let me try to pump. So I pumped, and I pumped about half of a bottle. I normally pump like 6 ounces. I think I maybe had pumped 3 ounces out. And it was dark in my room because my husband was asleep. So it was dark in my room and I couldn't see. I went in my bathroom and cut the light on, and my milk was like literally pink, like looked like strawberry milk. It was pink. Freaked me out. So I called my friend Hartrice, and she was like, more than likely you have mastitis. Didn't know what that was. Didn't know what that was. So I looked it up and saw whatever on Google and all that or whatever. So I called the doctor, told her what I possibly thought it was, and they just scheduled me an appointment to come in the next day. Went in the next day, they said it was mastitis, put me on an antibiotic, and I took the antibiotic for maybe, I think it was like a week or so, and it cleared it up. But it was a very, very scary situation, especially if you've never experienced anything like that. It can be very, very scary. Now, what the doctor told me I had did to cause it was, like I said, I was trying to wean my 9-month off. But I was on a schedule. Like when I pump, I'm a pumping mom, so I have a strict schedule that I stay on, and I just went cold turkey, which is what I did with my oldest son. But my milk was already drying up. I was still in full breast milk mode. Like my body was still overproducing milk, and I went cold turkey, stopped, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have weaned myself off. So that's what caused me to get mastitis, because my breasts were so engorged that the milk started getting backed up in my ducts, and that's what caused it. So my advice on tips to prevent, based off of my experience, is to just make sure that if you are pumping or breastfeeding, that you stay on a schedule, that you don't allow yourself to go a long time without pumping or feeding. And then also, if you're trying to wean or stop, make sure that you wean yourself off as well. If you're pumping maybe every 2 hours or every 4 hours or every 6 hours, just start spacing it out even more. But make sure you're still getting the milk off, but just start spacing it out, and then go, for a day, and then just start spacing it out more and more instead of going cold turkey, because you could cause mastitis. Okay, and that's not a fun thing to go through. Okay, mommies, that's all the information I have for you today on mastitis. If I didn't get something right, or if I may have said something wrong, please leave me comments in the comment section below letting me know. Like I said, I am not perfect, and I'm not a doctor, so I just go off of what my experience was, and I do my research. So I go off of my experience and the research that I looked into for you all, okay? So make sure you leave me comments if I got something wrong, or if you enjoyed the video, leave me a comment, let me know, okay? Thanks so much, you guys. I really appreciate you watching, but don't forget to click that subscribe button in the right side of your screen, and don't forget to hit your notification bell so you get all your updates about every time I post, okay? Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Have a good one. Oh, no. And if your children haven't told you today, you are a great mom, and they appreciate you for all that you do. And a woman who fears the Lord, her children will rise up and call her blessed. Thanks so much, guys.